Here are the exact lead generation methods that I used to generate my first $755,000 in real estate. My name's Nicolle. If you like this video, we got a ton of these on the way. Let's jump in. How to generate leads. I wish that I had realized sooner just how simple it is to generate business when you're in real estate. So the way you generate leads is just understanding that all the traditional things work. So door knocking works. The first year in business, I did 5 of my deals through door knocking. Knocked on doors, met people. I would knock on doors when I got a listing, when I sold a listing, when I didn't even have listings and I just wanted to connect with all my neighbors. Any excuse I could have to go knock on doors and meet people, I would do it. So an example is I'd knock on a door where I have a listing and say, maybe you have a friend, family member, so-and-so who might want to live in this neighborhood, just wanted to let you know it's up for sale. The natural question is going to be, well, how much is the price listed? Where is it? You guys doing an open house? Whatever, just fill them in on all the details. Then when I sold, if I had good bragging rights, I'd go back to those houses and say, hey, I just sold the house way over asking. It was awesome. More buyers in this neighborhood are looking. Just wanted to give you the update and let you know before everybody else finds out about the sale. Providing value, providing reasons to talk to people. I could give you a million other door knocking scripts, but let me just tell you this. When people say door knocking doesn't work, it's because they don't work. They don't know how to do door knocking. Door knocking 100% works. Anything in this business that you say doesn't work is because you're not educated enough. The other thing that works in this business is actually going out and learning how to either run pay-per-click advertising yourself or hiring somebody to do it. There's a million services in real estate where you sign up for a website, they've got some kind of related Google pay-per-click advertising. I would highly recommend you go and sign up for that service. Even if you only have $100 a month to spend, it's something. And you're gonna laugh. The very first deal that I did was a Google pay-per-click lead that came through when my budget was like $200 a month. So I ran ads for 1 month. I spent $200. I got someone who had reached out and said, I'm interested in these 3 properties, and the market was super hot. I emailed them back and said, 2 of them have already sold, but I can take you to see that other one. I went and showed it. They bought the house, like the first visit. Now, beginner's luck. And I could shoot a whole other video talking about beginner's luck, but I put myself out there. I was like, I'm gonna spend this $200 on advertising because I trust that it's gonna work. And you know what? Google pay-per-click has only ever been profitable for me. It's just that sometimes things take a while before you see a regression to the mean, meaning you gotta spend money and wait and trust that the advertising thing will work itself out. But in the meantime, you follow up with all the leads right away. You continue to provide value. You keep following up with those leads. You email them, you text them, you phone call them. You stay on top of everything to squeeze every potential lead for all their possibility, and you'll find that you're doing business. So I wish I knew in my first year just how well everything worked. So door knocking worked. Google pay-per-click advertising worked. Facebook ads still worked. I would advertise my listings. I would get more leads, have conversations. Some of those leads took a whole year to convert, but they'd end up converting. And in the meantime, those commission checks, I was being really intentional about putting as much of it back into the business, giving myself some reserves, and I was amazed at how quickly all that stuff grew. The other thing is open houses are phenomenal. I'll hear agents talk about how open houses don't work, and I'm thinking to myself, you must be so lazy, because all you need to do to make them work, go knock on neighbors' doors in the neighborhood. Tell them you're doing an open house. Naturally, people will be looking on realtor.ca or realtor.com or the MLS. They'll see open houses. They're out shopping around. I double-ended so many of my deals in the first year because I was doing open houses. I was running Facebook ads. I was out there making noise on social media, talking about everything. All of it works. The other thing I did in my first year that gave me a ton of success is I had all these Facebook friends. And I had all these leads in my cell phone. So what I did was I downloaded my entire cell phone database, I put them into a CRM, and I started calling all those people, just checking in on them using the Ford script, the how's your family for F, how's your occupation going, what are you doing for fun these days, R for recreation, and then D, what are your dreams? You dreaming up anything big? You got any big plans? You excited about X, Y, Z, whatever the case may be. Bars. You going on some big vacation? And by having that conversation, people would naturally ask, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? And I'd be like, oh, I'm in real estate, things have been great. Or they would specifically say, hey, I saw you were in real estate on Facebook, how's that going? And I wouldn't make it about real estate, I'd make it about them, connecting with them. Naturally, I was doing deals from just calling up those leads in my database. The other thing is I would Facebook message people, leave a voice note wishing them a happy birthday. You know how many other people are wishing your friends on Facebook a happy birthday with a voice note? 0. So you're gonna stand out, it's gonna be meaningful, it's a great way for you to connect with people. And guess what happens? When you leave that voice note, they think, that was so kind. They click on your Facebook profile, and then they instantly see that you're in real estate. Maybe they've got questions, thoughts, whatever, or maybe they're not interested, but they just start following you and paying a little more attention. And suddenly in 3 months when someone says, hey, I need a realtor, like, oh, you know what? My buddy Jake, that guy's actually a really nice guy. He's in real estate now. And they reach out to you. And all I would do with those voice messages is something like this. I'd be like, hey Tom, just saw that it was your birthday, man. And I was thinking about you. I saw your face pop up, wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Hey, I hope the family's doing amazing. I hope the kids are doing great. You know, I saw that you were up to XYZ and that's super cool, man. I'm cheering you on over here. Hey, just wanted to say happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. Cheers. And people would get back to me and be like, that was so thoughtful that you left a voice message. So between door knocking, between having some basic PPC ads, between you going out and hosting open houses, between you actually just reaching out to people on Facebook, making lots of noise on social media, I did $750,000 in my first year, primarily using those strategies. You'd be amazed how much business you can do if you just work a little harder, stop making excuses, and stop listening to all the people that tell you you can just post stuff on social media and you're gonna have this big business through social media. A lot of them are preying on those people who are too lazy to do the hard work. Work hard, advertise it, you're gonna be super successful. In your business, all of the different things you can do for lead generation, they're all gonna work. The question is just, which ones should you prioritize first to make sure that you've got a good strategy for them? And then further to that would be you need to be measuring them so you know how successful they are. So Google pay-per-click advertising works. Facebook advertising works. YouTube advertising works. Things that I haven't even done yet, like billboards, obviously work. These guys in your city that are running billboards, they're doing it for a reason. They want to be top of mind. Bus shelters work. Everything that's out there as advertising works, and the only thing that you need to be doing is deciding which things you're gonna tackle first, making sure that you go deep before you go wide. Go down just Google pay-per-click ads first, allocate the budget that you have toward it, and figure it out before you move on to the next thing. And then when you're figuring that out and you're starting to get the hang of it, you want to diversify across the different pillars of advertising, because otherwise what's gonna happen is you can become too dependent on one stream of advertising. And the challenge is, let's say Google suddenly becomes more expensive. Now you don't have any other advertising going. It can wreck your profitability in your business if you've been too dependent on one thing. So for us in our business, my first year, Google pay-per-click advertising was insanely profitable. I'm talking like a 12x return on my ad spend. I think I spent something like 3,600 bucks and I made 120 grand, okay? Whatever the multiple is, massive ROI. When I realized that the next year, guess what I did with my pay-per-click budget? I said, hey, buddy that's running my pay-per-click stuff, can you just 10x my ad budget right now? And he was like, you wanna spend 3,600 a month? I was like, yeah, I wanna spend that much a month now because guess what? It's profitable, or 3 grand a month, whatever the amount was. I just 10x'd it because I knew that it was profitable. So I would like to do more of that business. Then we were also running YouTube advertising. I spent about 30 grand on YouTube advertising in my first year. Starting about 6 months in, I turned them on, I started running them. So I spent like 30 grand in 6 months, and that was less profitable than Google pay-per-click, but it's another medium. So for that, I spent 30 grand. I also made about 120 grand. They were both somewhere in the ballpark of like 4 to 6 deals between Google PPC and YouTube advertising. And you could say, well, Jake, why don't you just spend more of your budget on Google PPC? Here's the thing that I didn't account for and why I knew you want to diversify. 1 year later, I did 8 deals from YouTube, and a bunch of them were people that I met in that first half a year that took 8, 9, 12 months to convert. And then the Google PPC ads started not being as profitable, and had I relied on them, my whole business might have diminished. So this is why people do different forms of advertising, is it allows you to diversify, it allows time to pass before you can really decide which the winners are. And then it's also different ways that people get to engage with your content. YouTube's really video heavy. Google pay-per-click is very heavy on specifically people's intent, where you're not interrupting their behavior, they're going to Google and typing things in. So all advertising works. At the end of the day, you want to start to diversify. Then there's also things like doing mailers, doing a newsletter. You want to slowly chip away at all those things. Pick one thing, go fairly deep on it. As soon as you start to have some success and you're a couple months in, pick another thing, start learning that one, and keep moving through them. Just know, you're never gonna have a silver bullet with advertising. You gotta do all of it across all those mediums, and you'll start to realize which things are the most profitable. You can invest more heavily and continue to diversify. The second I did my first deal and I got my first 15 grand, let's call it, I immediately was like, that's amazing. I can now run ads for the whole year. So I treated that money like that's now gonna become my advertising money. Now, if you like this video and you found it useful, click on this video, you're gonna find it even more useful. We got a ton of content just like this coming your way. Click the video now, check it out. Cheers.